The truth is that anyone can become rich as long as they practice good habits. Certain people might have bad habits which are holding them back and preventing them from building any wealth. You might not see them at first, but bad habits can lead to poverty. Fortunately, you can change your ways and build wealth if you start by replacing these with good habits. In this video, I'll share the 10 worst money habits that's keeping you poor. Before we dive into today's video, here's a quick disclaimer. Please remember I am not a financial advisor, and so nothing we talk about in this video is financial advice, but rather my personal opinion. So before doing anything, do your own research and consult with a professional financial advisor. And as always, you can find useful links to help you on your journey in the comments section below. With that over, let's get back into the video. 1. Impulse buying. People who are always in debt are often the type to buy something soon as they see it, no matter the price. And, sadly, that kind of impulse buying usually leads to a number of different problems. Lots of people will make excuses for buying new gadgets or that it's not a want but a need. Random in-store purchases can lead to a credit card being maxed out due to the fact that a person may not have the funds needed for all charges, and they also make it difficult for people to stick to their budget. Time and money are two precious commodities. When people realize their budget is blown out the window, they'll usually keep spending. Living with little to no money will gradually deplete them of their savings, and they may fall into debt. Sure, an impulse buy now and then won't hurt your chances of getting wealthy. But you'll see that problems in your finances will start piling up when you spend without thinking about how it'll affect things like saving for retirement. Saying the following affirmation to yourself every day can help you become a more conscious shopper: I only buy what I need. This will make you less likely to impulse shop, which is important if you want your bank balance to grow. 2. Using credit cards for the points. Some credit cards are worth carrying when used responsibly. But there is a reason for the quick cash perks that credit card companies offer, and it's not just to be nice. Rewards encourage you to spend more, plain and simple. A study from 2010 found that people who used reward credit cards spent an extra $68 per month and had $115 in increased credit card debt. Some cards offer a cashback reward, but beware of stipulations such as annual caps and higher percentage for limited purchase types. You might not realize how much you're getting back after all. Cards are supposed to make your lives better, not worse. Putting yourself into debt for a measly reward is a silly idea. 3. Keeping up with the Joneses. In the world of real estate, it's better to be the worst house on the best street than the best house on the worst street. But if all your neighbors are doing well too, it can be hard not to see them as a benchmark and push yourself a little harder. The sense of competition can lead to spending, and trying to keep up with people that live in the area or friends you know might lead you to overspend. It can be tiring when some people are always bragging about their new cars, homes, and expensive vacations. Not everyone cares about status symbols, but it can be hard on those who do. It's important to remember not everyone's success looks the same. When you see a neighbor earn their big break, remind yourself of your priorities and goals. Nobody can access your retirement account balance, but you know it's doing its part to help you set up a comfortable future instead of that new watch. 4. Relying on retail therapy. Different ways of reducing stress are actually different for everyone. For example, some people exercise or listen to music, while others release endorphins by spending money. I know that stuff like shopping, eating, and listening to our favorite music can make us feel good, but like all habits, this one has its downfalls. Spending money in order to feel better could become addictive and have a negative impact on your finances in the long run. The study that Ebates did determined that if you're a teen or an adult, chances are you've partaken in retail therapy before. Entertainment, travel, and electronics were the top items that provided therapy for these individuals. It can be seen as something that affects everyone in society. If you can't control your emotional spending, it may be time to get help. Shopping addiction is a thing and can be hard to break, but through the support of dedicated therapists you'll learn how to recognize your triggers, find coping mechanisms, and stay out of debt. Do I really need to tell you that shopping isn't always bad? But it's not an effective way to feel better when your day has been less than great. You can get the same effect from other cheaper, more thoughtful methods if your goal is happiness and relief. 5. Expecting a miracle. Lots of people think that all you need is a money miracle to get out of debt, but the truth is you need a plan and perseverance. Even though it might sound like winning the lottery would solve all their problems, they never work because they just spend their newfound wealth back into debt. One of the dangerous things about this way of thinking is that it removes you from any sense of control. It's like hoping that someone else will come in and save you from yourself, which just ends up setting you back financially and emotionally. Of course, we all know your credit, debt, and lifestyle belongs only to you, so you're the best person to help out with that. When you have a sense of control over your finances is when you are most likely to be financially stable. You could say that there are many aspects of life out of our control. You may not have much influence over the economy or the job market, which can lead to feeling a little defeated when life doesn't seem to be going your way. To prevent yourself from becoming too discouraged in these situations, think about various options you might have. If you want to have a say, the first step is to start saving. Just ask Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit. In his latest book, Smarter, Faster, Better, Duhigg writes, motivation is triggered by making choices that demonstrate to ourselves that we are in control. The specific choice we make matters less than the assertion of control. Saving even a small amount of money can be very powerful. The reason for that is that you simply decide to do so and make something happen, rather than the other way around. Rather than wait for someone to come and save you, start taking control of your finances by scrutinizing your bills and making a monthly budget. Make sure to pay any new bills on time, pay any existing ones you can manage, and remember that staying in debt can have an adverse effect on your life. 6. Succumbing to lifestyle inflation. It's likely you expect your monetary situation to improve as you get older. You could get a better job, or even see an increase in your salary or benefits. The only downside is that natural inflation might mean prices also increase, so it becomes more difficult to do anything with the extra money. There is a huge difference between people who are able to optimize their finances and keep growing their wealth versus those who are constantly struggling. The key is being savvy about your finances, balancing your income with the day-to-day expenses in your life. It's tempting to put these new earnings towards buying a new house or treating yourself to a vacation, but that could mean wasting all the time and effort you just spent getting financially stable. Let's say someone has the following situation. Bill earns $45,000 per year and spends $30,000. But Jeff earns $120,000 and spends $145,000, whose financial position is better. From just a numerical standpoint, it appears Jeff is in better shape since he's bringing in more income. But income is not the only factor when it comes to building wealth. Everyone would love to quickly improve their lifestyle if they get a promotion at work, but you need to be careful not to spend any more than you're used to. However, this is only the case if it doesn't hurt your finances. It's worth thinking about the consequences before you go into debt to maintain a certain lifestyle. Be sure to only spend the money that you have and preserve your financial freedom. 7. Avoiding your debt. When it feels like you have $1 million of debt, the mere thought of paying a single dollar can make you anxious. The usual strategy for dealing with debt is to avoid it. If you completely stop checking your balances for a long time and start to miss important phone calls from debt collectors, then you may be heading towards red flag behavior. You don't have to like your debt, but you do have to be able to acknowledge it. Open your mail on the days that you know for sure that you are going to feel calm and prepared. The more information you have about your debts, the better off you'll be when it comes time to deal with them. Once you've figured out how much you need to repay, budget which payments will have the greatest impact first. For example, pay your utility and fixed bills first. If you owe money to several creditors, focus on the one with the smallest balance. This feels more manageable and you can use the success of one payment to motivate yourself to continue on. 8. Taking interest-free loans. Retailers that offer 0% interest loans are preying on people who want to buy more than they can afford. It might sound like they're saving you, but it's actually just going to lead them into a cycle of debt. Unfortunately, many people forget that you have to pay back those interest-free loans eventually and often get hit with heavy fees and even retroactive interest. Be careful when you sign stuff, make sure you read the fine print and try not to take up loans that don't have a short grace period. 9. Only paying the minimum. We often think that paying the minimum each month to get out of debt is enough, but it's not, because the calculation on monthly payments is usually around 4 to 6% of your balance, meaning you could end up with more interest being added on. It's easy to not notice the balance when you're just taking a quick glance at your credit card statement. Remember that the balance is what you owe, not what the minimum payment is. 10. Relying on only one source of income. For a lot of people, their income is from working at a salary and it's what they depend on to live. Jobs are less secure than people may think. In 2018, U.S. businesses laid down more than 21 million employees, and this means that if your job was the only way you earned money, then all of a sudden you lost your cash flow. When it comes to your sources of income, you need to think of yourself as a tree. Do trees only produce fruit from one branch? The simple answer is no. They have different branches producing flowers and fruits. So should you. You should always keep learning how to let your income work for you. It's not only good but also a safe way to get some peace of mind at night. To summarize, the solutions to these habits depend on the individual. Some might need to start taking up exercise as a way to replace the mood-boosting properties of shopping, while another person should cut up that cashback card in order to reduce temptation. But just like all bad habits, the first step is recognizing that you need to start changing things. If you find yourself constantly sabotaging your finances, it's about time to hit pause and take a good look at yourself. Knowing that you're hurting your own chances of being free might be the kick you need to finally get yourself out of debt.